Hello everyone, my name is Zihan, and my student number is 1011761363.
Hello, my name is Xinge Ji. My student number is 10095566614. As we done the ACTA, this time will be evaluations and comparing models. And my inductor will be 1.1.1, the pop of the population below the international poverty lines in Georgia. And hers will be 11.1.1, the population of the Australia's urban population living in slums. So we got the data from the SDG. First, we look at the poverty rate change for Georgia. It with a clear increase in 2019, an outbreak of COVID-19 with a worldwide disease. And in 2009, a mass rally took place in Georgia against the government. With the occurrent demonstrations and the pandemic, the poverty of the population living below the extreme poverty line climbed.
And for Australia, University of Melbourne research suggests that the rate of urban population living in slum continue decreasing, with a very stable way even though under the big pressure competition. Within concern, Australia was defined by good housing and a high rate of home ownership. The nation saw off the list of its slum in the late 1940s.
So both of us, we need to work more on background data like economic or world history. I need to consider if the demonstration would took place like the 2009, it might be cause the rate changes again. We search it online. The BBC News report the Georgia's future is in danger as protest divide nation.
As such, flat data for Australia, healthy and educated as infrastructure for citizen live, which play an important role in data analysis and government intervention. But according to the news published by the University of Melbourne, 100 years without slum housing in Australia is coming to an end. And I need to say, keep curious what events will gonna happen in the future that help us get more real world prediction.
We can see a general decline applied in both countries, but the Georgia one was the variable compared with the Australia. And we try to use different functions to give the models. To analyze how well these two equations fit the dataset, we plot them on decimals, and the black one is the Georgia, red one would be the Australia.
From the graph, we observe that the line passed through or is near most of the data points, shows strong correlation for our model. However, there are few points that diverge from them. Overall, our equation provides a good approximation of the datasets, and for Australia, the exponential function gives a more realistic expectation of the scripts with a continued descent.
However, the polynomial function is not as reliable as the exponential function. Depending on the Georgia model, it comes with an increasing over 100% and not would be true in the real world. These short-term models influence the accuracy of the following years.
For Australia, the main practical function for this problem are the change of the government policy and the increase in residents' income. For those influencing factors, we need to consider what change have been made in government policy and how much residents' income have increased. All those factors have contributed to a downward trend in the slum population. In this regard, we are curious about what other factors will influence our prediction about the real world in the future. We should see different countries with different situations. A model for developing country like Georgia may need to consider factors like financial, while a developed country like Australia may focus more on employment rate and social safety nets. That's all. Thank you. And this is our reference.